Hey guys, and welcome to your daily mobility flow. I'm your flow master, Seth Crowell, and we need a small round tube or pipe or baseball bat or lacrosse stick or rolling pin, something like that, and a ball. I need to stop dropping these balls on the floor because the mic just picks up the sound. It's so loud. I'm sorry. You don't need a foam roller or a PVC pipe today. We're going to do the quadriceps episode. Quads today. We're going to work on your quads and your hips. Your quads are actually a hip flexor. They flex the hip. They contribute to hip flexion. So we're going to kind of tie those together, quads and hip. We're going to start with your dowel or rod or whatever. We're just going to relax one leg out in front, and we're going to just start working this quad. So we're just gonna, you can roll if you got a rolling pin or something, or a tiger tail if you have like the really good stuff. And we're just gonna start digging. You can hear the pressure here. All the way around the leg. I know it's kind of hard to work on yourself because it's uncomfortable and you're the one adding the pressure, but it's super good for you, so do it anyways. I like to start all my pressure going away first, away from my heart, away from my core, and then I like to finish by drawing everything up to kind of force the blood lymph flow back up towards being recirculated. Does that actually do anything? I have no idea. I know that like the pressure does help your circulation from this either way, but really from this direction up, it helps even more. But I don't know how much it matters that you go down, 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 and then switch to up, 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 up. Oh. All right. A couple more big passes. And then we'll switch legs. Three-quarter tights like this work great for working on yourself because it slides nice and easy. You don't have to worry about ripping out your leg hair if you're like me. Now if you got the leg hair going on, you just roll everything, work it like this, or get a rolling pin that has actual handles and so the pin can roll while you hold it still. But you can also just do it on the outside of like sweatpants or whatever. This is why follow along will just work so well, because I'm not doing this on my own. I'm just not going to. It's just not going to happen. Too lazy. But if we're here and we're started, I feel like I'm accountable to you guys, so let's get it done. Hopefully you feel like you're a little bit accountable to me. That would be super beneficial. All right, let's get a little VMO action. It's the muscle on the very end of the knee right here. So we'll bend the knee like this and roll it out. By bending the knee, we're exposing more of it, but it makes it not hurt as bad. And we're just gonna roll out that muscle on the very end of the quad, very end of the knee. Muscle deals mostly with like the last 5 or 10 degrees of knee extension. Let's get the other one. Okay, now we're gonna hit your hips. You don't need this anymore, you need your ball. You can use a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, baseball, something smaller, not like a big soccer ball or basketball. And we're gonna put this right in your TFL. We're all kinds of acronyms today. Your tensor fasciae lata. It's like right where my pockets would sit at the top. There's this muscle, like if I kick my hip out this way, this muscle that sticks out. I'm gonna put the ball right in there and we're gonna roll it out. So lay down, ball in the hip. This is gonna be really, really, really tender. So take your time. And we're just gonna kind of trigger point today. So find it into that muscle, find a soft, sticky spot that's super tender, and then just relax. Just let your body weight slowly kind of sink into the ball, and we'll try to get it to release just with pressure. And we'll do like 3 or 4 spots on both sides. The longer you stay there, the less uncomfortable it should get. I wouldn't say that it's gonna get more comfortable. It's just gonna get less uncomfortable. And then try to find a new spot, change your hip angle. Oh, sorry, I gotta turn away for a second. And just try to relax your leg. Just let it be dead. As that spot starts to give out, go search for a new one. And do it again. Do about 4 spots on both sides. This is my number 3. I know, not the fanciest video in the world. Just some dude laying on the floor with a ball in his hip. You could probably find weirder things on YouTube, let's be honest. Okay, one more. I'm gonna try to get out here to the side a little bit, like out here. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, there it is. Found it. This is so uncomfortable, but it helps so much. Okay, let's go to the other side. I'll try to do a better job of being where you can see me. I'm gonna start on that spot I ended on the other side because it felt like the money spot. If I can find it. Oh, yep. I got about 4 spots. Switch it up. It's super easy to fight it, like to tighten your hip up, tense it up so that the pressure's not as great. You want to try to find enough pressure that you can feel it and that it's kind of uncomfortable, but not so much as you can't relax into it. You don't want to have to fight against what you're trying to accomplish. And that might be, if this is just really brutal for you today, like excessively brutal, it might be better to start with like a tennis ball and then work your way towards a harder ball like a lacrosse ball, or even what I have, a field hockey ball. All right, 3rd spot. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I shifted. I was gonna do a little wiggle. I'm a whiny boy. Sorry, guys. All right, and well, let's try to find one more spot. This side almost feels so tight that it's hard to even find those deeps. Okay, and now we're gonna stretch your quads and your hips with my favorite. I'm just gonna use this for support. It's probably gonna be pointless, but we're gonna go foot up, scooch a little bit. So we got our lunge. Okay, that's kind of there. And we're gonna bring that foot into the butt and then drop those hips forward. You can add the foot in, set the hip. The more you kind of sink the hip down, the more it'll be a hip dominant stretch. The more you add the knee, the more it'll be a quad, like you pull the foot and so your knee closes, the more it'll be a quad dominant stretch. We're gonna try to just get both. But I can tell you what, this does not normally feel this loose already for me today. I mean, I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times, and this already feels super good just from working on quads and the hips. I'm gonna stop playing with my toys. All right, let's change sides. Big lunge, foot up. Okay, this one feels tighter, but it felt tighter the whole time. You know, with the hip, the ball and the hip, I said I thought it felt tight enough that it was almost hard to find as soft of spots on the other side, but from a range perspective, this is just actually a pretty good position for me. Hip this low, foot in. I'd be curious to know how your lower backs feel after this, after a quad and hips. No hamstrings, no glutes, no low back work, just quads and hips. You should move around a little bit after this and see if your back feels looser, because I would be willing to bet it does. Your psoas goes through, it's when your hip flexors goes through and grabs onto your lower back. So when it gets tight, it tends to pull on that low back quite a bit. And so if you loosen it, in a lot of cases, you have less low back pressure, and you feel better. And I'll tell you what, honestly, my back almost always feels tight. I mean, sometimes it's only 5%, 10%, but literally almost always. And it doesn't feel tight right now. So yeah, anyways, guys, that's it. That's your daily mobility flow, the quadriceps and hip flexor edition. Thank you for being here. And also, I guess, the low back edition. But that's it. I will see you guys in 2 days. You to Bomb, I'm to Seth. Later.